would. It's like in every city. In our city, we get treated pretty good, but at the same time, we get treated as like a second-class citizen. We don't have the same rights as a normal citizen has, just by the way they can just barge in, and they do.
We were searching for 3 days for the infamous figure known as Shay, the big dog on campus, who is a positive role model for the street life scene in Victoria, BC.
We've heard rumor that he's running his own podcast from the streets. As a voice to be heard, these are his words.
My name is Shay Smith. I am resident X at said camp, Beacon Hill. Canadian citizen, advocate for charter rights and freedoms, and basically human being. I find myself right now just to be, I don't like to say homeless, because every Canadian citizen has a home in Canada. We're all Canadians, right? So I think I'm home, right? So homeless is not really a thing I'd like to identify with, but just find myself in the COVID crisis right now, just kind of being outdoors in Canada, my home.
So what's the name of the podcast?
Tough one when it's getting out there, because it's the homeless idea. It was what it was originally started as a homeless idea that didn't have any boundaries or limits. Homeless idea. So then it was going to be to the homeless solution, because I figured it's us talking about us, right? So what our solution would be to house, I guess, our community, right? So.
Okay. I heard actually they're planning some new housing options during the crisis. Like they were talking about possibly moving people into hotels, and even in the arena, I briefly heard about that.
The heart behind that is great. I mean, I understand that people would think that people could just throw people into hotels, and that's, you know, what you would do for your like cousin or your aunt who is visiting or something like that, and that would be fine, you know. And it's a great heartfelt gesture, I understand, by the public, but you can't just throw homeless people in a hotel room. That's why they don't rent a lot of times to people who don't have MasterCards and stuff like that, right? Is because, you know, they trash stuff, and they're not, it's not because necessarily they're there to destroy anything or they're there to cause any damage. It's because they don't have like the same social interaction, I guess, or social, like their hello might not be a hello to you in the same way. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just different social interactions. They have a different way of acting, being. When you've been like pushed down by society so far back that you can't come back, and that you've just basically like, this is your basic way of communicating, and that's other people's way of communicating, that's not going to be received so well by a hotel, right? So it's a great idea to just throw people into a hotel room, but it's not a good idea as far as like the peer support or the staffing that's concerned. I don't think the people that are the hotels or the staff should ever be blamed for like this mess that's going on. I think it's just a matter of having the peer supports in place and stuff like that.
Have you noticed any changes since COVID has come around for the way that the homeless might have been treated?
Yeah, I gotta say I have. You know what? I mean, I'd be a liar if I said that I didn't see that there was some heart out there, and that a lot of people are trying, and a lot of people are just doing what they can to bring our like you guys coming down here and doing this, and you know, it's great. I mean, it's amazing, honestly. You know, this COVID thing is, I hate to say it, but it's kind of helped a bit bring humanity closer. I mean, it really has, and this maybe on the curve is a good thing.
It's not socially distanced people at all, because everyone's paying attention to online, I feel. So everyone's physically distant, but socially I find that everyone's even more aware and starved for socialization now than ever.
See, that's the thing, is that we don't feel it so much. on our side of the fence, we don't feel it so much. We're just the same as everywhere, because like, we're kind of outcast anyway. So we, you know, like, I mean, we don't really have the physical distancing thing going on, which we try to practice as much as we can, but what are we gonna do, man? Like, I mean, if you're gonna catch something down here, it's like, if you're gonna die, we're pretty close to it anyway. So, so it's you kind of, there's a zen point here, where you just kind of let go of your material belongings and your material wealth and that whole thing in your head about financial gain and whatever that is, and that part of spiritual. Yeah, it becomes spiritual in who you are. It becomes a lot more of where this is at, and you just have to just let all of that stuff go, because you realize you can't hold on to it down here on this level. So life kind of is on the same sense, and so I'm not really afraid to die. Of course, I have strong beliefs, what I believe in, so I'm not really afraid to just let go and just, you know, I'll give you guys a handshake right now, but that's not the way we want to kill COVID. I mean, in a sense, too, for the human race to continue, obviously, let's keep our physical distancing and do our thing to you know, support that. So, but amongst our community, we haven't really noticed much of a change. So,
Yeah, I really wanted to ask, touch base on your podcast, but how would I look it up?
you just go to basically, I think it's we're on Anchor FM. That's who we broadcast through or podcast through, and it's a Spotify. I know his a strong supporter, I guess, and Apple and Google as well. There's it's called The Homeless Solution right now, and I guess we'll just keep it as The Homeless Solution.
Would we possibly be able to visit in and film part of you casting next time?
For sure, absolutely. You guys are welcome to come down to Pandora tonight, next time, tomorrow.
Or you're casting today?
Yeah, we're thinking about doing that. Actually, yeah, yeah, I know Colin is probably hyped to do that today.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do that.
Let's
Then
do
if
it.
you let us sit in, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. Let's do it. You guys want to see something cool with Tony?
Yeah.
I'll show you. He can climb a tree, no problem.
What?
Oh yeah. All right. This is a tough one for everybody.
You gonna get it?
Oh!
Get it! You can do it!
Go on, get down.
Yes!
I think you earned it.
Woo! Yeah, puppy! Yeah, checking out this cool custom skateboard from the 250.
Fucking right. This is Scurvy Dogs. This is Victoria, BC.
And you painted it yourself?
I painted this myself. This is handmade. Well, not the board, of course, but you know what?
Cool.
Really appreciate what you guys are doing, getting this out there. And so, you know what? I'm gonna give this to you, man. You just started skating again.
What?
Oh,
No, I don't know.
I just got a really good one.
There you go.
Are you sure?
Go on, brother.
Oh, that's sick.
Can I paint
Sure,
the one
man.
I got and give it back in return? I only need one.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be fun. I paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there you go, bro. I just
Gift
lost
for
that
gift.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back.
Lost that one. It's just because you guys are so fucking cool and honestly doing what you're doing and getting our voice out there.
Then
There you go, brother.
Radical, man. Thank you.
You bet, brother.
sweet. That's a hand sanitizer.
We're at the McDonald's parking lot right now waiting for Shay and his friend to come back. This guy's like the Johnny Carson of the homeless camps.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Just put my gloves on.
So we're just waiting to get a sick interview. It's getting exciting.
There you go, podcast 4. Here we go, and with the help of
We've got a couple guys here today.
Fernie and
Yep.
Owen. You guys can put your name on this.
Yeah.
Come on, go ahead and put your name on this.
Absolutely.
Because you know what? Why not? 9/11 Pandora.
Yeah. Let's talk about the shit that's happening on Pandora. We're obviously been caged in the last week. You're caged in up at Beacon, Shay?
No, we're not, bro.
Okay. So they've got the two areas in Victoria and one in Vancouver. Oppenheimer Park in Vancouver and Topaz and Pandora. They're closing down to the COVID pandemic.
Well, this is the first thing I'd like to know is okay, when you want people to socially distance, why would you put them in a fence, close them together? I think that this is one of the things is breaking the law right here. You kind of being forced to break the law, and they're like turning their heads to it. Because what? We're the useless homeless or something like that, or we're the people that don't matter. I guess we're already given a face of like don't matter.
No, we have no communication, so therefore we have no way of communicating what does matter. Now that the municipality has got the federal government paying for it, the smartest thing to do is what we talked about yesterday, Shay, and that's the hotels versus modular homes.
Well, temporary modular homes are the way to go because basically the hotels right now are the temporary modular homes. They're already zoned land. You've already forced them to be zoned land in the meantime because obviously these are where the homeless are being housed. So in that being said, those hotels have unfortunately become the zoned land for the temporary modular homes or what would be.
And homeless people are getting kicked out at a rapid rate there for non-compliance of hotel because they're under the Innkeepers Act. They're not under the Renters and Landlord Tenants Act. They're under the Innkeepers Act.
You know what? Yes, man.
And they have 24 hours. They can evict right away. So what's happening is a lot of the homeless are getting displaced from where their tent was into a hotel. and then displaced once again to where their tents now not. So we've got to, it's that training
Okay.
once again. The government tried to
I'm gonna
throw
go
in
there.
and come in and ram it down people's throat because they only had a window of opportunity that the federal government would pay for this. So they rammed it down, and they thought the
Provincial
solution was get us in hotels.
A very, very kind gesture, but it's like I said
It's
earlier,
ludicrous.
putting your Aunt Betty in a hotel room and putting, one of us in a hotel room is not the same.
No,
Same
and where the customer is
occupant.
always right at the hotel, it's hospitality. It's that mentality. They're not set for staff's not ready for it. The hotel management's not ready for it. It's the Band-Aid fix that's not going to work again, because what's going to happen, and mark my words, is renovations are going to have to be done on these hotel rooms that had homeless people in, and guess what that cost is? Now we're fiscal prudence. We're at $100 a day minimum for a hotel room.
It's such a waste of
2
money.
months you have a modular home paid off for, which will last 3 years.
Get this, and it's all in heart. Okay, this is not going to be looked at as something that's going to be going down as it was a big waste of money. I think that this should be going down as a government trying to throw a bunch of money at having a big heart all of a sudden and just not knowing where to place all of this. On their level, I think is a really good thing. I want to say thank you to anybody who's out there who's putting that forward and putting that love forward to us, because that love is felt and we appreciate it.
That's
I just
because
think
there's
it's a
overfunding right
matter
now.
of pure support.
It's not love.
It's a matter of
Hanging
pure
on this or
support.
what?
Yeah, absolutely.
You sure
Ross,
can.
you're more than
Welcome,
welcome
Ross.
to-
Right on.
Ross, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you.
He's a fellow homie. He's a fellow street cat, and long time
How long have
respected
you been on
member
the
of
street
the
now,
community.
Ross? Or before?
3 years.
Okay. And
Brother in
what's
arms.
what's your take on the success of the government helping out the homeless? Or
It's hard to say what it's like in every city. In our city, we get treated pretty good, but at the same time, we get treated as like a second-class citizen. We don't have the same rights as a normal citizen has, just by the way they can just barge in, and they do, right?
Yeah.
Listening to the radio the other day, and they spent the whole almost 2 hours just trashing us, right?
Yes.
And finally, one guy got online and said, "Look, it's not just junkies down there. You've got people that that don't
Business
use,
owners,
lots of people that don't use,
yeah.
people that were just had their lives together and somehow ended up on the street, right? It's not that hard. Like, most people are one check away from
That's
it, right?
huge, man. That's huge.
What the people do see, what I've always said, is they close the mental institutions here,
Right.
and displace people onto
Right.
the street, which then, in all theory, anyone who's not homeless is going to look at that and say, hey, that's your
These guys are all
character
crazy.
homeless
Right,
guy
right.
right there.
Right.
But that's character mental health.
Right, and that's
Right?
the federal government that turned their back on them
Okay.
like 20 years ago, right?
Now the government's turned their back on mental health patients. Okay, the churches have definitely done
Yeah.
this. So
The
who's to back
church.
these
Okay,
people?
listen, I'm a Christian. All right,
Who are these-
whatever.
who are they-
Crucify me,
who's-
whatever you want to do. I want to say, it's the church who is totally actually turned this into a corporate thing. I want to put that out there.
Yeah,
and
it's,
it's just.
and where are the churches helping out right now, and during a crisis, a global crisis?
Let's just not
where
even
are
slag on
churches?
them. I just want to say, before this even happened,
Where are the
churches
open
were-
doors?
It
Sorry,
seems
what?
like all the places that were supposed to help us have closed their doors on us. Some are still feeding us, but it's a lot of the places that we would normally have.
Do you think this
access
is
and
right?
funds
During a COVID
Don't-
crisis,
are open right now.
bathrooms are closed
Continue
at
that.
Subway,
Yes. If I can-
and no hand sanitizers.
Right. I mean,
No hand sanitizer anywhere.
there's
No,
no hand sanitizer. There's no bathroots open. I mean, there's
Okay.
a few public
That's what we
ones
got for,
during the day, right?
like,
But
there's-
if you got to go and you're
No,
Four outhouses out there is what you
Yeah.
got for your sanitary,
Right.
I guess
I
restroom.
mean,
or whatever.
our ability to
4 outhouses
for
on a
hygiene
street.
has been cut.
That's
You know what
not
I mean?
very
Like,
hygienic, I don't think.
No, and very few people have a chance to even have a shower, a regular shower now.
There's no.
right?
Is there?
Or,
Have you guys been able to use them?
a box truck pulls up and drops off their 10 showers or 8 showers or whatever it is. and-
Are you kidding me?
No, it's in a box trailer, like kind of a
So,
Uh,
is it any privacy or like
yeah. You're not
hot
showering
water?
in it. It's
Is
not
it-
a bathhouse.
Is it hot water or what?
No, yeah. Of course, we're running it from the inside. The water's coming from the inside. But just I mean.
Have you had a
that's
chance
what
to
you-
use it?
No, I wouldn't. No.
Is it sanitary?
They clean it after every use with a guy in a bodysuit. So,
Hazmat, eh?
right?
Yeah.
Hazmat, he's got a full
That's
hazmat
welcoming.
suit. Yeah. Yeah.
Not a bathhouse, he says, this guy.
No, it's you know, you're not.
How many
walking about-
bathhouses have you
That's
visited?
for sure.
Yeah, one that was pretty fucked up, but it wasn't.
How hard is it to keep well kept in a tent?
Pretty hard.
Yeah.
You know what? It's difficult.
Is it tougher, do you think, the most to like find
You've got
normal
more
faculties
freedoms,
of everyday
you've got
life?
more freedoms, but you give up.
How do you have
give up.
more freedoms
Huh?
this way, living on the street, in a boulevard, in public, in a tent? How do you have more freedom?
How do you have more freedom?
Yeah.
You get to sleep when you want to. You get to put the heels.
How
up
does
when you
that
want
possibly?
We trade liberties
To. Yeah.
for other liberties,
Yeah.
right? But
we'll do it. We'll do
We're
a fair
podcasting
trade.
here, brother.
But we're not going to be. I'm not going to be subject to falling under a MAT program where the abundance of
Do you
dead
think
bug-
though that that
not
honestly
worth it.
something could be done better than like sleeping on a boulevard in a city at a public fucking avenue? Like, do you think that we
could
could
we
do
think
something
that we've
better
got
than
all
that?
the solutions in the world, whether they're but the thing is because of the riches in poverty, and number one industry in Victoria is poverty.
Why is this? Do you think that all
Big
they
money.
offer us, guys?
Right?
Why do you
There's
think this?
riches and
So-
here we go for the the
7
hospital
o'clock.
staff and
Right on, guys.
give them a couple knocks, right? That they've done well in doing what they do, right?
Absolutely.
So it's but we've also got the people at Save On that's done a lot. That the people still working in there. And the guys are filming us on the documentary of the COVID.
Right now,
case.
just give their.
We all know
feedback.
it's a COVID is not one street person, not one, okay, that anybody knows, that anyone's been around, that anyone's heard of, has been infected with COVID. Not one.
and we're not
Not
social
one.
No, this is
distancing
the
either.
thing.
And
This is the
and 8 weeks later, we're then fenced. Then we're forced
Well,
to
this is-
we're
this is
forced
like-
to leave.
okay, how in the hell do you keep-
Why? Because the municipal government is
Let's go on this one.
pushing the
Let's go on this
federal
one.
government to pay for all this,
Let's do
and
this.
they're shoving us in somewhere.
Let's talk about this.
Band-aiding it.
Why is it that I think this is a tough one here? Is that homeless people, myself included, believe that our systems are too toxic for the COVID virus to exist in? Just so everybody can hear me say it again.
Yep.
Is
Come
that
on.
thanks, Andy.
See, you know what?
Um,
And having to
So
put on
okay,
a show.
honestly, that we believe that our systems are too toxic for the COVID virus to exist in. So that the homeless people, and this is a real, honestly, we do believe this, is that, and I'm one of them, is that our we could not host the COVID virus because our systems are too toxic.
Our systems have a toxicity level
Well,
at beyond
Right,
where it should
right.
be. The
And it-
normal person.
And you can even
But-
look it up. Go.
But if you're saying if we look it up.
Speed makes us immune to the cold and flu viruses.
So the math on the street is making
No,
me
that's
immune
to me.
the
though,
COVID virus.
To me, that's
Exactly.
dangerous.
Okay.
That's because this is unproven, guys.
Well, no, it's not. It's actually proven. You can look it up on
No,
in
I
medical
guess
journals.
guaranteed for the flu virus, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Right.
But now for COVID, that's not clinical. That's not fact.
Okay.
Right?
Now,
Well, no, but it
what
is
I'm
a
going to
flu
do
bug.
is I'm going to bring in our friend Sandy here.
If we're wrong,
Sandy,
if we're
I'm
wrong,
going to bring in
far we're
Sandy
not.
could be
very
So
quickly.
far we're not.
Why
So
is
far
the
we're not,
COVID
thank
why is the COVID virus out here, please? For what
Why is
reason?
it out here?
This
Why
is-
is the COVID virus out here?
There's
Sandy,
no
take it away.
virus out here.
Okay, what is it supposed to,
gather
be doing?
us, to
Gathering
get us,
who?
Gather us, be able to separate us, and
What
get us talking
drug
on
is it targeting?
well, no, this is actually.
Adrenochrome.
adrenochrome.
You know what adrenochrome
Bro.
is?
Anybody know what adrenochrome is? Okay.
No, let's
it's
go
derived
for a
from
quick
the blood of
chemistry.
infant children.
Please be quiet.
At the time of their death, after they're frightened to death. Okay, it's oxygenated blood. It's mixed with adrenaline. Okay, it's taken at the time of death, right from the base of the skull.
No, spinal.
Ross knows
Yeah.
more about it
Spinal tap.
because he's
Just
done
bit close
some
up.
research recently on
Yeah.
this
We're in the middle
phenomenon.
of the podcast. Thank you.
But it's basically reserved for the rich, the elite.
Yeah, it's
And,
the most
uh,
expensive drug in the world, but it
yeah.
keeps them super young, right?
And have we seen Johnny Depp lately? Anybody?
Yeah, he can't get it. And he looks like an old man.
In the
Whatever
movie,
this
in the
is.
movie
Okay.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, there's a scene where
Yes.
the Benicio del Toro tells.
Oh yeah, just a minute.
Very
tells
quickly,
uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
that's awesome.
Hunter S. Thompson character about adrenochrome as he's allowing him to partake of some. Yeah, so this is a real thing and it's really happening.
There's a big market
But it's
for it.
suspected
but
that what's really happening behind the scenes is that the most recent doses of the drug have been tainted with the COVID-19 disease.
The elite
making
seem to
these
be catching it
people-
more than anyone.
Yeah, they have to
So that's what we got
isolate
here.
themselves and basically leave them vulnerable to being picked up and taken to Guantanamo Bay, where they're going to be tried for things like human trafficking, organ trading, pedophilia,
Global
and all
takedown.
sorts
And
of
that's
corruption.
Yeah,
definitely
apparently there's a war
Yeah.
going on between the 1%, right? And this is kind of the way to get us off the street, get us in our houses and not talking, right? And
Well,
if they
that's
are
another
talking,
thing
it's
that-
on social media where it's all
that
recorded.
part-
But that's
They
why
want us separate, they
I'll
want
buy
us
it.
stupid.
No, I'll buy that.
that's why Trump
Sandy,
goes on Twitter.
I just think it's bullshit because it's just way out there. But the one part that you did say that I think is true is that fucking they're trying to control us with this shit.
Oh, there's
There was
many
an order that
aspects of it.
came down from the Solicitor General of BC demanding that we be removed from here by May the 9th due to the
3 days.
Now that shit's not bullshit.
the
Stop
health hazard.
swearing
Yes,
shit.
it is.
I'm sorry.
The health hazard that's posed by the COVID virus. However, what Shay is referring to as bullshit is the fact that there is no COVID down here on Pandora, not one single
hasn't been.
solitary case.
Exactly.
Not
Okay,
one.
so what they're doing is they're making it up, and they're portraying us as like some kind of a leper colony, where we're just separated from these
100%
people
real.
who are driving by with their windows
It's
closed,
tough being homeless.
freaked out. They're wearing masks.
Next topic, guys, is what do we do on May 9th? What do the people do down here on May 9th?
Same thing as we do every day, man. Not going anywhere.
Is there going to be a stand? What the fuck are people supposed to go?
Are we getting
Where
martial law?
where are we supposed to just be pushed off into?
Yeah,
Oblivion?
and 350 rooms came available since their announcement of how they're going to handle the most vulnerable citizens of British Columbia. It's been how long? And how many people here have been approached with a hotel?
Not at all.
No. Okay, none.
We've
got a few people in hotels.
In Beacon,
right now.
our view is that we're boycotting the hotels just because of
Yeah.
the treatment of the homeless.
Yeah,
We don't
absolutely.
want a hotel.
Absolutely. So the treatment of the hotels, because of the hotel deficiency in training them, and the government having to take the time to train those people as to what they're going to be encountering with homeless people and addictions and whatnot.
sorts of shit.
It's left up this big open hole, and now nobody wants to go.
It's peer
And they've
support.
got all these hotels that are being now paid for at probably summer dollars, eh, guys?
Okay, temporary modular housing from our standpoint is the way to go. You have a filtering process where you have a referral through the hotels, which you got it takes 30 days to build 30 temporary modular homes. Okay, so say you build 3 units of that, so you have 90 homes built in 30
And
days.
that's quite slow.
Well, the mayor got $390 million about 2 years ago for modular homes, and where is it?
But the violence has gone down. We've had less police traffic down here since this whole thing.
Before
think-
we were all spread out.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of all a little more close knit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we're
people
watching each
know,
other's
learn
back.
to understand each other better.
Yeah.
Do you
Definitely.
all? Well, I can't say everyone, but do you guys feel that your community has really strengthened?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes,
100%.
our community, but the community around us hasn't.
No,
No.
they're still shutting. They're still.
I want to say that not everybody's community has it strengthened a little bit, guys. I think that we've all become a little bit closer to this, and to shut out the rest of the world. I
Yeah,
think-
but our
as
our
ours,
community
yeah,
has
we
come
sure
closer.
have, yeah, absolutely.
It's less violent. We've taken how many? We've had 3 fights, I think, and we've had
yeah.
nothing major.
Yeah, and that was like an hour before, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So
Well, it's because I haven't been around here.
yeah, but we don't have the
Tough guy.
respect. We don't have the
kidding.
thievery.
Right.
That kind of stuff is
I-
kind of slowed down because we're able to police it ourselves, I believe. You wouldn't want 4 guys like this coming after you for stealing someone's handbag or stealing somebody's sleeping bag or cot. We're going to be shuffling though. Again, they want us all shuffled on May 9th.
well, we're
Nice you say that.
we're a culture within a culture.
Yes.
A lot of really nice people coming down. There's been a lot more food than ever.
See,
Oh,
here we
no,
go
no.
at 6 rolling. So,
Yeah, they don't like us very much. 6.
Well, you know what? They don't like a lot of people. Well, they're not very well respected.
You
as
know,
well,
the police
so.
need to have more people trained in mental disability.
Absolutely.
I think that's a big issue, right? Because
Yeah.
they don't know how to deal with it.
We're really echoing this we can do whatever the hell we want because of COVID-19 measures and the new emergency measures. I think they're being kind of more clamped down on us.
Yeah,
myself.
that's been quite easy and quite lucrative down here for business, I guess, you know,
Cool.
as business on Pandora goes.
Good for you.
But
How close are we to having drug, I guess, legalization, or having any more
decriminalization.
Decriminalization,
Yeah.
right? How close? Much closer to that are we now that this COVID thing? Is that something that's going to be on the back burner, or is it
No,
something
they're never going to decriminalize anything. It was just pot. Chance of any other rec drug is about zero. I mean, there's versions of all the drugs we do
guys-
in the pharmaceutical world. I mean, you've got Ritalin, that's the same as speed. You know, they've got all these different types of oxy
Yeah.
drugs,
Yeah.
which is like,
guys, is that Ross? Is that camping stuff being thrown out or donated?
Is that a donation?
Oh, hey, thank
Go
you.
grab a tent, guys. Don't fucking, pardon me.
Bro,
Thank you. I need a tent, guys. If there's 2 tents there, man, I need a tent. See how quickly this stuff goes through. But usually if it falls into the right hands, it'll get into the hands of the needy, right?
in closing,
You know, let's get a new formation, like a new formula for the government. That's my vote. Is the system's not working. It's making a mockery of a lot of, you know, what business operates at a deficit so many years in a row, and we continue it.
for
Well,
me,
what
I
can you
think
do?
that's I think that we just honestly have to just say we got to work with what we got. Let's work together. Let's try and bring this in to where we have like peer support for the people that are going into the hotels, and then we have like more peer support for everybody that's being transitioned from homelessness into like, you know, mainstream society as immediately.
And
Like,
that's a big
try
transition.
let's just try and help each other out and help everybody get through this so everybody can stay healthy. We can kill this fucking virus, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's, you know what, thanks to those hotel owners that are giving up the places and at least making the effort for it.
Yeah, no, definitely,
It's-
for sure. And 100% thank you to the people in Topaz and the neighborhood of
The
Topaz.
people that are helping, the people that are
You
getting
guys are
out
awesome.
there.
Thank you for trying.
We are very thankful. We've got a thank you board going up over there on the fence. When life
bet.
gives you lemons, we made lemonade. So we're
Doing our
taking our
best.
fence and we're
Doing our
using it
best.
for advertising, and we're using it for
Thanks,
you know,
Victoria.
thanking the.
and I think at the local level, the government, the mayor, stuff like that, they need to start using some of the funds that have been socked away for us, right?
Yeah.
Like start addressing our issues,
The
right?
owners of housing.
And it's not that hard to figure out, right? All they got to do is be prepared to spend some of that money they've already been given.
Let's rock
right?
and roll. Let's do it. All right, guys.
All
Podcast 4. Thanks very much for listening.
Modular homes.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.